Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the FPL Affairs podcast, the podcast that strips back and lays bare our season-long love affair with FPL. In our latest transfers and predictions video, we run through the game week's fixtures before revealing Hippo's crystal balls to share who he believes will well and truly score this weekend. We finish by discussing players we feel are worth selling and which are worth investing in. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for all of our content, and if you hit that bell to be notified each time we release something new. Anyway, enough of my small talk. Let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He's scored. Ice cold precision from Palmer. Kayo Saka. That is a diamond of a goal.
Greetings everybody to our game week 9 transfer plans and predictions video with me, Matt, aka the FPL Affairs Magpie, and joining me as in this video every week is the FPL Affairs Weasel, aka Paul, as often call him Weasel more often these days. But anyway, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Got 10 days off work now, so
Oh,
good
party
times.
time.
Uh-huh. Needed it. It's been a long few months.
What are you drinking right now then? Or has that got to be censored?
Didn't have time to grab one.
Oh, priorities.
Maybe on the
priorities.
second podcast, I have a bottle in my hand, swigging away.
Yeah, that'll be me in the video with Lewis on Monday, or whoever else is joining on Monday when we go through game week 9. That'll be me, as I'll be away. So
Yeah, hopefully I'll be joining you guys if I've got Wi-Fi where I am.
Well, usually we start off in recent weeks this video with your team, with a quick look at how your team got on in the previous game week, but we did that when you covered in the game week 8 unwrapped, so we don't need to do that. We can skip on to the next bit, which is iron up the game week 9 fixtures and our predictions on those. So I did think it being quite apt. I looked up at which 2 players are most transferred in this week across all positions, and they are Nick Voltemada and Jean-Philippe Mateta, which did surprise me a little bit that he was the second most transferred in, particularly as they're away to Arsenal this week.
True, I suppose I could wait a week.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I haven't gone for him this week, but we'll come on to that. Firstly, the fixtures. We've got Friday night kickoff, Leeds home to West Ham. Low scoring and pardon?
I think Leeds a win.
Not a Jared Bowen 1-0.
Obviously, I personally like that, but yeah, 2-1 I say it'd be nice if he can get a goal, but West Ham have been awful. Leeds has been looking all right. What do you think?
Well, due to connections, I'd like to say a Leeds home win, to be honest. And considering, okay, my spoiler bench boost chip, I have a Leeds defender, so in that respect, it would be nice for them to get a clean sheet. So we shall see. Moving on.
Some needs this week for the bench boost.
But what's bonkers this week, which is all simply down to clubs playing in Europe, is how there are only 2 3:00 kickoffs on Saturday. Chelsea at home to Sunderland and Newcastle at home to Fulham. They're the only traditional 3:00 kickoffs on a Saturday.
It's because there's 9 teams in Europe this year, isn't there?
But
they're saying that 5 of them, 6 of them are Champions League, aren't they? So it shouldn't really affect it.
2 home wins. Do you think?
Yeah, I don't think there'll be massive home wins, but yeah, they should both be home wins. Obviously, Chelsea had a good win tonight.
And
It's a
then
bit
there's
frustrating to see the Enzo back.
mm, and then also on Saturday, we got two late kickoffs. Manchester United at home to Brighton at 5:30, and then Brentford at home to Liverpool. What are
Yeah,
your
Man
thoughts on those?
United.
Pardon?
Yeah, Man United to Brighton are both so unpredictable.
Mm,
That's it's 2-2, I reckon.
yeah, I was thinking
And
score draw.
yeah, they both can score goals and obviously not looking great defensively. And Brentford Liverpool, I can see Brentford getting a goal against Liverpool, but Liverpool should win. It's a 2 or 3-1.
Yeah, should we shall see with those. Moving on to Sunday, four 2 o'clock kickoffs and a 4:30 kickoff. Starting with Arsenal Crystal Palace.
I reckon it could be a score draw. 2-2.
I'm I'm thinking a low scoring Arsenal win. So perhaps a 1-0 or a 2-0.
You don't think Palace would score against them?
Well, their attacking stats have improved um, recently, significantly better than their defense at the moment. But I just can't see past Arsenal's defense.
They have got the best numbers, but then I think Palace have probably got the best attacks. It should be an interesting matchup.
Because Arsenal have conceded one goal from open play, and that was Erling Haaland, and he scores against everyone.
Uh-huh, true.
Mm. And speaking of Erling Haaland, how many is he going to score at Aston Villa on Sunday?
Uh, his run's got to come to an end soon. Is it 11 now? Is it 12 in a row?
Oh, potato, potato, tomato,
Uh,
tomato. What do you
but
think?
yeah,
One, two, more than that?
yeah, he'll get a goal. He's just scoring for fun at the moment. His XG numbers are absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, they're crazy ridiculous compared to other people's.
Uh,
Um, he's and how his overall points are more than the next two highest scoring forwards combined.
yeah, I saw that on social media. Isn't that the case every year, though?
Not necessarily.
Because
Not
normally,
necessarily.
like Isaac starts slowly. Watkins normally starts slowly before he can catch up with him. And I
Mm.
see Highland always comes out firing right from the beginning of the season.
Aston Villa have turned a corner, though. So do you think it's turned enough that they can put the frights up against Man City and get something out of the game?
Uh, yeah, I think I went 2 in Super Six for this game,
Interesting. You're liking
but
two
it'll
twos
be
this
tight.
week. You're liking two twos this week. Two or draws.
Yeah,
Two or
I
draws.
tend to go for tools a lot, and I tend to get them right as well the last few weeks.
Mm. Bournemouth home banker against Forest.
Yeah, obviously they have to get the new manager bounce, but obviously Bournemouth are very impressive this year, and Forest is total shambles. So it should be an easy 2-3-0 win.
Wolves Burnley.
I think Burnley might sneak that because Wolves are absolutely shocking.
Yeah,
A couple of weeks ago, I thought that Wolves would sneak it, but obviously Burnley had to win at the weekend. They're
yeah.
looking good
Hopefully they'll
defensively.
again as I've got Dubravka on my bench. If I do bench boost, then I'll be looking for a clean sheet there. Finally, tenth fixture. Everton at home to Spurs.
Uh, yeah, guess what? I think the score might be on that one.
Uh, hmm. Um. Uh. Oh, I really don't know. Um. Just see if I can pick something out of the back of my mind. Um. 2-2.
Yeah, how did you guess that? You're a mind reader.
Yeah. Mystical ball. I'll need it against Kieran this week. Whoops, spoiler.
That's a spoiler.
Can I edit that out?
Go for it.
I could, but I no. I'll leave it in there for silly value
Yeah,
purposes. But
bloopers are good.
yeah, bloopers, bloopers. Right, moving on to speaking about that. Kieran's 5-star challenge, the FPL Affairs Hippo. So, can you beat his predictions of the 5 players he believes will well and truly score this weekend? Will they pull a return or two or more? Who knows? But his predictions for this week are he believes the game week's best overall player will be Semenyo, and using Kieran's words, Semenyo as he's in form and against Forest, who've just got a new manager. Apologies for the grammatical spelling there of Gore, the got, and no, or is that, yes, that is Gore, and 2 full stops after manager. Maybe it's a ellipsis, but then that's 3 dots, and I'm waffling. Best differential, under 5% top performer. He's gone for Krupi Jr. for the same reasons as Semenyo. Most saves, Reeves against Chelsea, as he thinks Chelsea will put the pressure on. Game week's highest scoring defender, he's gone with Reece James as he's in form and he's against Sunderland at home. And finally, his prediction for a double-digit midfielder or forward is Haaland as he thinks he'll score a couple against Villa. Your thoughts on Hippo's predictions?
Yeah, very safe again, but yeah, all excellent choices.
Yeah,
No,
especially
can't fault them. And whoever's up against him's going to struggle to think of other ones. I think.
mm,
I wonder who's playing this week.
mm, no, maybe Lewis because I'm not sure if he actually sent in last week, which means last week's Kieran won by default.
Yeah, I don't remember anyone sending it in last week.
Mm,
So does that make it 4-all now?
yeah,
No, obviously winning 5-3.
that might make it 5-3 actually. Oh no, pressure's on the person
Yeah,
whoever
he beat me, didn't he? So yeah, it's 5-3. I
whoever
picked
take
him.
whoever takes the mantle this week. Scary thought. Um, James, we'll see whether he gets injured at any point soon. It's long overdue.
Did he play tonight?
I'm not sure. I have, because of work and various things on a Wednesday, I have not seen or heard any of this evening's Champions League results.
Uh,
Although I did cry when I finished work because I realised I hadn't made the um, substitutions, the transfer for the players that were playing tonight in for whoever did rubbish last night or didn't play, and also to swap my captaincy because although I got a goal for Haaland, I was very much I'm captaining Kane. And then I finished work and I was like, oh, rubbish. Looked at the time, it was 6:45. So I was like, it's okay, I can get it on. But then was getting muddled with the different fantasy game, and that since the first game had already kicked off, that everything was locked. So I had Huijsen on the bench, Pavard of Marseille, and uh, Darun of Atalanta. Um, so could be
is he
worse.
a defender or
Defensive midfielder, gets a lot of
oh,
full recoveries.
yeah,
Quite
there's
cheap.
goalless that game. So
So we shall see the stats on
yeah, I
that.
left Van Dijk on my bench for that game, stupidly, but we've all had
I
a bit of
don't.
a stinker on that. But it's good. We want to get our stinker out of the way so we have a great FPL week.
Yeah, possibly. Although I was
That's
I
just the
was
sideline.
I was a bit lucky that I my big hitters were at least on the pitch. The most Pavard I would have brought in, but he might come in anyway because I don't think Adeyemi played last night at all. I don't think he got any minutes. He got no points. So therefore I'd at least get an auto sub, I think. as I haven't done any substitutions manually. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked off Kieran's off Hippo's 5-star challenge. So generally quite safe overall. You think he's gone again, and he does tend to pick from just a couple of fixtures. I've noticed.
Yeah, I challenge Hippo not to pick Haaland next week as one of his choices.
Oh, should we add that in as an extra rule?
Uh-huh.
And then he can complain and say we're making up rules to because and we're only making up new rules because he's winning or something. That's what he'll come back with.
True,
You
but
know, won't he?
uh-huh.
He'd be like,
But
you're
it's getting
making up
boring now.
rules. You're fixing it. He'd be like,
Mhm.
yeah, come on. Pinch of salt. Anyway, so this week he challenges
I wonder.
drum roll, although it wasn't a drum roll, it was me banging the kitchen counter. Oh, FPL Affairs Magpie. Who knew that was coming?
I didn't. It's totally blindsided me.
Mm, yeah, stolen from somewhere.
Mhm.
Right, moving on to the transfers. I actually have made a bit more of a thorough list this week. Um, would you like to start on goalkeepers? Which goalkeepers would you actually take out if you had them?
Yeah. I'm gonna be just as bad as Kieran and keep repeating myself on every podcast. And that sells.
Even though they're getting a defensive-minded manager in
Yeah, they've got a
now.
horrible few fixtures coming up, so maybe I think their fixtures turn in week 13. So yeah, just give them a few games and then maybe consider them again.
Hmm. Mine would potentially be, well, Allison, obviously, because of his injury. Um, and I heard from a few different places over the last couple of days about Kelleher, but I'm not sure whether that's down to an injury or Brentford's fixtures. So so I'm not necessarily going to go as far as saying get him out. Just if you do have Kelleher and you're wondering about transfers, just have a peek at Brentford's fixtures and what where he currently stands.
He's just kept 2 clean sheets, hasn't he?
Mm, yeah, that was why I was a bit surprised by it, to be honest. I thought there's got to be some reason
Means another
behind it.
4 million keeper could come into play though.
True or not. Defenders. I'm going to start with which to get rid of. Tottenham defenders for a start. Get rid of them.
Yep, I totally agree.
Get rid of Porro. Get rid of Van de Ven. Romero was best for DEFCON, but they're not keeping clean sheets, so get rid of him.
He's injured as
Um,
well, unless he played
pardon?
tonight. He's injured as well, isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah, he missed at the weekend as well. Um, and I'd also arguably say, based on form and selection, to strongly consider Van Dijk and Vardiol, although Liverpool's fixtures turn in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
So you could suck it up if you're someone that's got Van Dijk and just hold him.
that's what I'm doing.
Mm,
But yeah, Guardiola obviously got drops at the weekend, and that, and there's this thing pet roulette in place. So I'd personally stay clear of all Man City assets apart from Haaland,
mm, yeah, I'm
because
with you
only
on
him
that
and
one.
Ryder seem to be nailed. Anyone else, it's who is ever guess who's going to play.
And one other actually to consider, which I'm being mindful, is um, Branthwaite of Everton. It's come out that he's going to be out longer than expected, and he does need surgery, which means Michael Keane is going to be more of a mainstay in the Everton defence. And I've been watching because as a Tarkovsky owner, I've been watching the Everton DEFCON tallies during games, and Keane has been raking them in.
And he's got
So
a goal threat as well, hasn't he?
and he's £1
Is he
million.
4.5? Yeah,
He's 1 million cheaper than Tarkowski. So I think if you wanted a piece of the Everton defence and you're not a Tarkowski owner, then if I was considering again, I'd consider Keane over
it's a
Tarkowski.
bargain.
Um,
Yeah, is Anderson out for a few weeks for Fulham? It's a transfer out.
has that been confirmed?
I don't know. That's why
That
I last saw he might miss a few games, but I haven't checked
if
recently.
if you're an Anderson owner, then I think it was a precautionary um, out of the different hamstring thresholds. There's the one with the least damage, and he's supposedly on that. So it's questionable. So it would be a definitely wait for the press conference with Marco Silva on Friday or tomorrow, Friday, um, just to see whether Anderson is mentioned in it. Don't necessarily jump ship straight off because they've got some good fixtures starting in game week 10. So even if he's only out for a couple of weeks, um, then keep hold because they've got some good fixtures and he's good for DEFCON. Um, Midfielders, you just mentioned the Man City assets. Completely agree, which is why Reinders is giving me a little bit of a headache this week because I've got both Reinders and Foden, although Foden I was planning to switch to Saka anyway. Um,
Yeah, Mamouche and Cherky are fit again now, aren't they? So it's going to
mm,
affect their minutes.
yeah, and Docker as well. So it would definitely be keep an eye on getting rid of Manchester City assets throughout, apart from Haaland, really. And I think skipping sidestep to Liverpool, Gravenberch injury. I'm not sure the severity, but he's flagged anyway, so he might be a transfer out, might not be.
Yeah, obviously the big man at Liverpool is a huge transfer out. Salah,
Yeah,
4 blanks in a row now.
yeah, most transferred out.
Yes.
And following on for Liverpool, that continue. I think midfield actually, Salah definitely out, and I think possibly the only one to really keep or monitor is Gakpo. To be honest,
Yeah,
the chance
definitely.
the chances he had the other day, what he got quite had quite a few, didn't he? So
Yeah, he deserves to be playing, but obviously he's
mm,
not the big name there.
yeah, not. And finally, up front, if you've got Ekatike, Isak, get rid. I think cut your losses. Watkins as well for form now, and Villa's good fixtures have dried up. And finally, Richarlison, because it's shown in recent games, especially with Europe, that his minutes are being managed.
Yeah, obviously we've got the Europe games and the Carabao Cup in full swing now the next few weeks.
Well,
So
they'll
there's
be
gonna be a
out.
lot of rotation.
They'll be out of that in a week's time. So
I forget they've got you guys. Uh,
yeah.
we will
Anyway,
see.
moving on to something more positive about which players we should be rubbing our hands with glee and jumping up and down and itching to get into our teams. In goal, I'm going to start off with, did you see that assist last night?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Nick Pope. Okay, and I'm trying not to over exaggerate um, or be biased because I'm a Newcastle fan and I have Pope in my FPL team. But cross came in. It had been uh, part of a set piece build up, and then he caught it. He looked up. Barnes started sprinting down the right, and he Pope saw him out of the corner of his eye, and he threw it from. So he caught it about the edge of the 6 yard box, and then he threw it from just inside the 18-yard box and flew through the air, and it didn't bounce until it went over the halfway line, and it was measured in the throw was about 65 yards, and
That's some sort of record.
one off. Um, and it about it was that like high the trajectory that when um it bounced, the defender missed it, and then Barnes was clean through on goal. Still had a play next to him, but yeah, the throw was ridiculous, and he made a few saves as well. So I'd say Pope along with Raya if you want to be safe, but he's got a low ceiling because he doesn't make many saves, so he's a 2-pointer or a 6-pointer, but still an option to bring in. Chelsea with their fixtures, Robert Sanchez if you want someone slightly cheaper. Um, those are the main three for me.
Yeah, I can't think of any others. I totally agree.
And
Maybe
for the
the Man
bench,
United keeper might be worth an outside shout. It's a bit of a punt. No, there seems to be a better
in,
team with him playing.
interesting shout that. I was not expecting that. Um,
Let's keep you on your toes.
mm, defenders, I think the first undisputable one, if for some random bizarre reason you don't have Gabriel in your team, um, to get him. But other than that,
67% of players don't have him, do they? Surprisingly,
mm,
which
don't
is
get any
madness.
Arsenal defenders. They've rode their luck. All the clean sheets are going to dry up. Get rid of all of your Arsenal defenders. I tried to
Gabriel
make
has
that a
been.
bit dramatic so people would realise that I was joking and so forth, especially as I brought Timber in last week. So I've got double Arsenal defence and plan to bring in Saka for Foden this week. And again, I'm full of spoilers tonight. I'm telling, people may not even watch the next episode. Um,
Mhm. Yeah, I spoiled my team in the last episodes Monday.
but still watch it anyway because we'll be at least able to go through our reasoning, whether those are positive reasonings or oblivious reasonings. We shall have to wait and see. And I'll keep taking it off the point. Um, Arsenal defenders, Zanesi for Bournemouth for DEFCON. Um, any others you feel?
Newcastle, Burn
Burn,
from Newcastle.
Burn at the moment, less DEFCONs because he's playing at left back. Um, Botman's doing quite well for DEFCON, I think. So those are the two main ones. Because Botman's spot is unchallenged, really, whilst Burn is playing left back. It's Chow who's doing brilliantly alongside him. Um, centre back pairing for the future, hopefully. Those two.
Uh,
But he's got Shah on the bench itching to get back in. So any mistake that Chow makes, or even if he has a knock or needs resting, then Shah's straight in. And then if Shah has a great game, then he's bagged the spot. So I think Botman and Burn are the safer picks. Burn arguably ahead of Botman. Um, Chalobah's a good one at Chelsea, I think.
I think Reece James is even better from Chelsea.
If you can stretch, I think James is 5.4 and Chalobah's 5.1 maybe. I
Uh,
think, unless he's
yeah,
changed over the
hopefully
last.
Reece James doesn't join the sending off club they've got at the moment.
I wonder whether
It
they have a
seems
special like round table meeting afterwards. This is our red table club, our red card
there's
club.
something mysterious is going on at the moment.
Mm,
They seem to like to have a defender sent off every game.
yeah. Um, and if you're looking for budget defenders, I think with fixtures, you're probably looking at a Leeds one this week. And then from next week, Sunderland, probably Mukiele, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Burnley have got a good fixture this week, haven't they, against Wolves?
yeah, and that actually brings in the budget midfield option is, oh, and I had it written down and I had it on my mind. They've got a
Cullen.
5.0 midfielder who's recently, who
Is
only
it
just
Cullen?
started begins with an F. Um, Francisco, either way, he's 5.0 million and he's picked up DEF CON in every single start he's had.
All right.
So he's got like 5 DEF CON from 5 fixtures or something. Um, so if you're looking at reducing or an alternative, so you could sort of looking either him or Xhaka really at the 5.0 at the moment. That's your 5.0 club.
And Longstaff as well.
Mm,
He's
yeah,
4.9, I think, still.
yeah, 4.9. 4.9 having taken a drop because he wasn't starting, but then now he's starting and doing well. Stacks become less popular.
And he's taken over the set pieces from Stack as well.
Mm. But really, I think the main signings for midfield, the main transfers in, if you haven't got Semenyo, then just get him in. After that, Saka, um, I'll say Caicedo for me. You've got Enzo, haven't you?
Not anymore.
Maybe, possibly, we'll discuss that. I think FBI Harry said that Enzo's been pictured in training, so he may well be
Enzo played
available at the
tonight.
weekend. At the weekend, pardon?
Enzo played tonight and scored.
Did he start?
Yeah,
So definitely an option for the
so,
weekend then. Um,
definitely.
so there's those four, and then I'd
Eze and
say,
Rice from Arsenal.
mm, and then I think Rice I'd put in the bracket of one of those reliable picks that's going to keep ticking over, like controversial possibly with some people, like Bruno Fernandes and NDI of Everton, who I've got, who's arguably similar. Good shout for DEFCON on penalties, cheaper equivalent of Bruno,
Yeah,
really,
definitely.
in
I've
goal
got one
scoring.
more.
And I think now that with Grealish back, um, since he had to sit out the City fixture because they're his parent club, you have him on one side and NDI on the other, being more in for the Grealish creating for him. So those are those there for the midfielders.
Yeah. And Burma, I think, is worth looking at as well. He's putting up good numbers and scoring.
Gakpo we've mentioned is a fine margin. And Grealish I mentioned, although NDI is cheaper and has got greater attacking threat in terms of goal scoring, whereas Grealish is more expected, higher expected assists.
How about Gordon from your team?
This is where I'm in a dilemma because a couple of seasons ago I got him in early and I shot up the ranks because not many people had Gordon or not many people had Trippier and mm, I think the only real one that people had was Isak and I had all three. Um, and Gordon just shot right up. It was the season where Palmer was ridiculously crazy. His first one at Chelsea, where he's because the season started and he was at Man City, he had a like what 5.0 value and he shot up, and Gordon had a low value of about 5.5, and they were proper trolling their prices that season.
Uh,
Um, but we're stronger in the wings, and
excuse me.
Gordon got a goal and an assist last night. Barnes got 2 goals coming off the bench. Murphy got an assist. Alanga's there as well. So we've got four wingers and substitutions. As I think I said the other night, Eddie Howe generally he tries to avoid making defensive transfers and to the key central midfielders, which means is basically the substitutions he makes, injury permitting, is the front three changes at some point from 60 minutes onwards. Thankfully, Howe's not a 45-minute to 60-minute one, although Joe Linton, I think, came off at half time at the weekend, which is a rarity for how to make such an early sub. But the wingers are going to change. So you'll get two of them start and the other two will come off the bench. If, for example, Gordon and Murphy started like in the Champions League last night, um, they'll play, say 65, 70 minutes, and then Alanga and Barnes will come off the bench, say, and Baltamada will be replaced um, by Osula at the moment. They may even do it like last night, how Barnes replaced Murphy and Barnes was down the right for a period and then Alanga came on. But I think the problem is that you need to be, if you're going to get Gordon in and any of the others, be prepared that they'll be rotated, and if they're on the bench, they will come off the bench to play. So our wingers, because intensity is our identity, um, they won't be playing 90 minutes, and they'll only play 90 minutes if there's injuries to other wingers, because Howe will be wanted to keep them fresh, and especially with Europe and Carabao Cup, which hopefully will go beyond next week. That's where we stand. I think did you say in a comment about wingers for that are also of other
Yeah,
clubs?
all the Europe teams are in the same boat. I think that the players will be taken off after 60 minutes if they're winning comfortably. I think the only exception is that Star from Crystal Palace is guaranteed some more minutes and it's a good option to transfer in.
Fitness
Maybe
monster.
for week 10 after Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah, which and that was useful because his name we hadn't mentioned, but definitely one to monitor for. And I think Palace assets in general is that they're good to transfer in from game week 10 rather than game week 9. Lastly, though, our forward front line. If you've forgotten you even had an FPL team and have somehow stumbled across one, or you've started 6 weeks late, then, well, more than 6 weeks late, Haaland needs to be the first name on the team sheet. Um, then I think probably the other main options, popular options, are Voltemada from us, from Newcastle. If you're looking at a heavy midfield, then you're probably looking at Thiago, monitoring Thiago, who again he scored against Brentford, didn't he? He's possibly your third striker if you want, if you're not going really top heavy. Welbeck is doing well for both minutes and goals. He likes his goals against us. To be fair, does Danny Welbeck. Um, we've mentioned Crystal Palace, so Mateta will be one from next week because although although he's worth it and arguably the most appealing Palace attacker to bring in, it's also the most expensive and the trickiest to get to in some respect. And what about your favourite darling at
I was
West
about to
Ham?
say, yeah, they've got 3 good fixtures. So he's worth a short term pump. Now I'm planning to keep hold of him till week 11. And
Keep
then I
hold,
might move on to someone else if he doesn't get any hauls.
keep him held, nice and cozy, tucked up, nice and
Mhm.
safe in your FPL team.
Yeah. But he's no longer my highest scoring player. Haaland is.
Well, Haaland's probably the highest scoring player of everyone, unless you're a stubborn person that's been like, I am going the whole season without owning Mo Salah or Erling Haaland.
uh, which I normally do, but this year I can't. You just can't the thing keep
Hmm.
away from his outstanding form. It's
And actually,
impossible not to not have him this year.
and I think the controversial, or one of the controversial ones, is João Pedro because his form is terrible, but their fixtures are great.
Yeah, you have to pick him because of the fixtures and just hope he starts scoring. I don't think he scored tonight actually. From having a quick look.
What he did or he didn't.
He didn't, I don't think. They had two penalties, Chelsea, and they gave it to um, Enzo got scored one, and who's the midfielder, Esteban, or whatever his name is.
Esteval.
Yeah, he
Esteban
got the
took
other
one.
one. Yeah,
Surely João
surprisingly.
Pedro was off the pitch then.
Yeah, he might have been. And George scored, I saw. So he might not even played. Oh, is he still banned from Europe, actually?
Yeah. So that's
Yeah, that's
yeah,
why. Mhm.
yeah, well remembered.
Yeah, I
Numpty
totally forgot
numpty
about that.
moment. Numpty moment. That's
Yeah.
why. Yeah, that's why he didn't score in the Champions League because he's suspended.
Yeah, it's late at night,
So
so please forgive
few,
us, everyone. We've
few,
both had
yeah.
busy days.
So red card from it, red card for us.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah,
it
there's
after
one
VAR,
other
it's been
striker.
rescinded. But it's been rescinded. Um, moving swiftly on, then, or
Yeah, Coopy
swiftly,
Junior is another one to consider.
have you got any other forwards to consider?
Yeah, Coopy Junior, or whatever his name is,
Yeah,
from
you
Bournemouth.
pronounced it correctly as well,
Oh well.
as far as I'm aware.
Uh-huh. Yeah, obviously got a great fixture this week. There, Evaneson's injured, isn't he?
Mm, yeah,
So he got
it's
a brace
not.
at the weekend.
I haven't seen the timescale. I don't know the timescale on it, so it will be
Uh,
monitoring the Brentford press conference for an update on how long Evan Nilsson's expected to be out, and then it will be a matter of how appealing Groupie Junior becomes. But
at
if he's
four
a
and a half
forward,
million, you can't ignore him.
mm, very true, very true. Can't ignore him at 4.5.
And it
All
looks like he
right.
could be a starter.
Mm. So where you can find us and get in touch if you've got any players in mind that you're considering or that you've already transferred in that we've not mentioned, then let us know in the comments. To get hold of us via email, lowercase, no characters, fplaffairs@gmail.com, on x.com/FPL Affairs, which is our handle. Facebook, click the group in our channel called description, or just search Facebook for FPL Affairs. YouTube handle, which you may most probably be watching this from, handle is the @FPL Affairs, and as I say all time, and it looks like I'm sending Paul to sleep because I'm saying the same words over and over again each time I say this slide. Don't forget to put the character @ before FPL Affairs, otherwise we won't show up and I'll panic. Don't panic like I did. And then the Spotify too. If for some reason you've been watching our videos and have not joined our leagues, the Classic League is still open with the code on the right, as is our Challenge League. The head-to-head league, as it's a head-to-head league, had to close as soon as the season started. Okay, any final thoughts on transfers in, out, in, out, shake it all about, do the
Yeah, just
something or other, acrobatics?
yeah, we said in the last podcast and that obviously I think we've got the essentials. I think everyone has to have Gabriel, Semenyo, and Haaland.
That's fine. That's
Uh,
fine.
that you can't afford to go without them.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining me for this as always. And in a moment, we'll be recording our team selection video. So thanks again and keep an eye out. All that's left to say is keep your FPL affairs under wraps until Friday night's deadline and keep an eye out on our teams, whether yours are similar. See you shortly. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.